I'm so bad at this.
You're not screaming.
Okay. Welcome to the Not Peaceful Podcast, the podcast where everything we say will likely not be peaceful with each other or anyone in general, for that matter.
That's correct. It is yet another reactionary podcast, but with a twist. My wife here has her finger on the pulse of society. Meanwhile, I live in a cardboard box 18 feet underground.
My husband thinks I'm so in, and I'm so on trend. But here's my secret. It's easy to be on trend when your husband lives under a rock and is cave dwelling.
Yeah, so I don't have any social media. She has social media, so she habitually exposes me in order to make me suffer.
What we do is it's a form of flooding.
It's a dance.
Where we're overcoming your trauma to your...
Oh, it's exposure treatment?
Yeah.
It's like, it's exactly the same way that you have like middle-aged women lie down and a therapist pours spiders all over them.
Exactly. We got to get you over your abhorrence for...
My aversion to degeneracy and children these days.
Yes. Okay, so every episode, I'm gonna dig up some social media videos for you to react to, and then you bring some current events.
I stop the fun
to potentially wax philosophical on, and we'll see if I have two thoughts to rub together.
That very easily could be like a 15-second segment where I go, "This happened. What do you think?" You go, all right. Then we just move. We go.
I'm
right
pretty
back
sure that's all I'm going to think about. Most of the things you bring up, like, okay.
Yeah, that's the portion where we slow down the fun.
That's a good portion for...
You can't have too much fun.
You can't have too much fun. We got to eat our vegetables.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when we eat our vegetables. Well, I don't know. I would say some of these social media videos are they're making waves, you know?
Yeah.
They're doing the Lord's work and the heavy lifting to get our society back on the right path.
So you've told me.
Case in point, my first trend of video today is from the youths. So my algorithm knows me extremely well. And so now...
That's what you want, too. You want the algorithm to get to know you intimately.
Yeah, well, I am in an echo chamber on another planet at this point, just hearing what I want to hear being poured right back at me. And it's a little offensive sometimes what the algorithm has decided I need and want to hear. It's all middle-aged women yelling into the void, hoping that their words matter. And so I had to take a little break from the angry women on my feed.
I want to judge you, but I'm in a very similar boat. I go the cheap route. Like, I have those YouTube shorts, and the more you linger on a video, I'm convinced that's how it like tracks your appeal. So it will dump some of the most egregious pop media slop on my tray, and I'll eat it happily, grossly.
Very good.
Yeah.
You will eat the slop and you'll like it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I open my...
Can I have some more?
Yeah, it's like 6 a.m. before work, and I open my phone and I go, dancing Korean girls.
Well, yeah.
Guess I'll watch 4 hours of this.
Stop lingering on the Korean girls. Every time I go on because we share a YouTube account, and every time I go on, I'm just like, What have you been lingering on?
I'm a connoisseur.
Yes, I see. Okay, so to give us a little break from the middle-aged women rant, I went and did some research on what the youths are up to. So this first trend is called...
You literally titled it The Youths.
The Youths and their My Ancestor trend. At this point, this is probably a little bit old, to be honest, because it was kind of a February trend, but it is funny nonetheless. So
that's you know why that's not going to be a problem is because the audience for this podcast is strictly Vietnam veterans.
They're going to get really annoyed of me so fast.
If you're not in the 47 to 68 branch and you don't have all of your belongings in a pleather duffel bag, then you're really not right for this podcast.
Oh, don't alienate our audience and just
get out of here.
Right out of the gate.
If you're not borderline homeless, and I'm not talking about those van life girls. Those van life girls don't count. They're choosing to be homeless.
The 3 people that are going to find and listen to this podcast are now estranged. Thank you. Thank you so much, honey. That's what we need. Okay. So my ancestor trend, not gonna explain it. We're just gonna dive into the first video because I think it does a pretty good job of like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay. So right out of the gate, what's your favorite meal to make your husband?
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Me in 2023, he does most of the cooking.
So
my ancestor, and most of the cleaning. Well, raising young women is a big job. Kids. No. Yeah. Do you want to watch that again?
Yeah, okay, so, pause it. Okay, I get this. So, they're basically, kids these days have basically run out of people to brag to about their boring lives.
Yeah.
So, they're inventing dead people to brag to. Yeah, so they're mimicking an ancestor who absolutely would be disappointed in them. There's no bones about it, so that they can, I don't know, like, and mildly embarrass their husband by being like, yeah, that's right, I've got a slave, a love slave.
Well, I mean, who wants equality in 2023 when we can just flip the script and now have men be the slaves?
Absolutely, yeah. Why would you want a functioning, productive relationship when you can just have a subservient Marvel nerd that lives in the corner of your house?
Oh my gosh, before I went on, maternity leave, that's what all the women were telling me, like, your husband just is going to have to do all the cooking and cleaning. The whole, like, my husband did all the cooking and cleanings. He's just going to have to take care of you. And that you're going to just, your job is going to be so different now. And he's going to have to pull a lot more of the work. And I'm, like, looking back on that, I'm just like, we're kind of, I don't know why it's such a big deal who does the cooking and cleaning. It is such a big to-do in our society of, like, men, they brag about their man if he does do the cooking and cleaning, and then, we kind of, like, put him low-key down for doing it, but at the same time, like, we need help pulling, you know what I mean? It's just
the academic class in the 70s and 80s convinced people erroneously that there's these stigmas around regular things that regular people do, like, working a 70-hour job week in order to, like, so that somebody in your family can stay home, or, like, having a multi-generational household, or cooking for other people out of, familial love. And it's just not true. One, there's no stigma. There's nothing wrong. You and I both cook, but you cook more and you do the harder cooking tasks because you are a better chef. Like, you just are better at those things. So, like, I will do the dumb tasks, or I just won't participate if it's a complex meal.
If we're luckily we can order out. Like, I don't. We when we're in a tight spot, and neither of us has the willpower. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we order out, but
yeah,
I think in a modern society, it's become such an argument of, like, okay, who's doing this? It's the women are bragging if they can get their husband to do it, and women who can't get their husband to do all of it complain. But really, it's just like, can we just take care of our goddamn households?
Yeah.
Can we just, like, make the food, eat the food, go to sleep?
Pitch in.
Yeah.
Just pitch in.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
I know.
That's the thing.
I don't understand it.
Not enough, what is it? Not enough chiefs? Too many Indians? No.
Well, because, okay, we're way off topic now, but I'm just saying, don't bring in some racist adage.
We only got started. We're only getting
too many Indians, not enough chiefs.
Just wait till I have another one of these White Claws and I veer into the subject of Aborigines.
Yeah, let's not do that yet. But I don't know. Okay, so anyway, she's making this point, which is on my TikTok a lot, about like who's doing the cooking and the cleaning. And that like her ancestors would be like, what? You mean, well, raising young ones is a big job.
No, honey, it's actually well, it is in a young one. Oh yeah, and then she does the fucking Amy Schumer face.
No. Kids are gross. Yeah. I would never
actually
work that hard to help our society sustain itself.
Actually, love is all around. I love these people. Like, if you want to not have children, go for it, dude. But don't act like you are doing some sort of sanctimonious public service. Like, the fact that you are taking 200,000 years of bloodline,
stopping it,
spending it all on you for your utility.
Like, I am the culmination of
peak.
I am the peak of my genetic line. We're done. Enough said.
Übermensch.
Stamp it here. That's a wrap. Mm-hmm. Sorry, ancestors.
Sorry about it. Yeah.
I bet you'd, and this is what that's how she thinks her ancestor would react.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, as a, almost like jealousy thing, when really, they'd just be like,
no, they'd go, oh my god, my great-granddaughter's mentally ill.
Why am I working this hard for you to even exist then?
Yeah, well exactly.
Yeah,
literally.
It's not like I'm jealous of your life. It's like, literally, you're unrelatable. Are you even a human?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It really is like... there is something enviable to it, which is why the appeal of not having children is so attractive to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Because the idea of having, working hard for the next generation is it's an evolutionary biological impulse, because it's driven into us that we want to pass on enough wealth so that the next generation starts well enough, so that the next generation starts well enough, so that eventually there is a generation that has enough escape velocity because of hard work in order to leave behind any sort of fear about being eaten by a fucking bear or disease. So for you to think that it doesn't get any better than this, I'm just going to focus on going to concerts and having chai lattes.
Well, I think it's a lot more nihilistic than that. I think a lot of the people that don't have kids are also I didn't want to be born. And I didn't, it's selfish to bring kids into the world, because if you're just going to, especially if you're at a place where you're just going to project your vision of the future on them, if why are you even having kids? Because there's only selfish motives to have kids. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's the argument I hear from most people. And as someone who kind of was starting to get into a sort of nihilistic place where I didn't want to have kids, because I wanted to travel, I wanted to have a great life, and I knew that kids were going to be just.
And then I shut that down.
Oh yeah, you knocked some sense into me, but you're sacrificing a lot to propel this species, and it is at the expense of being able to travel and being able to just live your bliss and live your best life. And our baby just had COVID, and we literally learned about what it's like to run into the emergency room with a 4-month-old, and it was terrifying. It's hard to keep these little things alive, and and I don't know, it really put it in perspective for me. It's so much more fun can be had, and I don't blame people for not wanting to do it, because the fun does go out the window. It is the most high quality fun. Anyway.
Yeah, but here's the thing, which is why legacy is so important. Is that when you go to bed at 23 as a party animal, and then you wake up and now you're 47 and you've accomplished nothing, particularly as a man, because we have to create our utility. It's bleak. it's a bleak life. You don't want to
right.
spend your life just pursuing, you know, orgasms and happiness.
Right, being the Hugh Hefner archetype is not.
Yeah.
At some point, it becomes very sad.
Yeah.
For sure. And the Marilyn Monroe archetypes usually end up killing themselves, so they never get far enough to be sad. And I think a lot of women see these Marilyn Monroe types die young and beautiful because they kill themselves, or they're just like doing drugs to extremes, and then it's like glamorized in a way that they kind of want to be frozen in time in that era of beauty and selfishness. And but yeah, if Marilyn Monroe had grown old, I don't know that she would have aged
people,
any
they
better
never
than Hugh
conceive of
Hefner.
like, me now is not the same as me later, so wants will be different.
Yeah. So anyway, this is way off topic, but like
we're
really rambling now.
Yeah.
But
in summary,
okay.
Pull your pants up.
Yeah, pull your freaking pants up, and you know, if it. Okay, there's enough people not having kids these days.
Yeah.
That if you have the means to, you should do your civic duty and have a kid. It sucks, but it's the most high quality fun.
I mean, not just that, but there's so many people who like they would very easily be brought into the boat of like, oh, I really want children now, if there are misconceptions about like just chasing pleasure until they are driven into a old folks home is taken apart, because half of them always think like, oh, I'll just kill myself when I'm 30. It's like, when you're on your 30th birthday, you're probably not gonna put that gun to your head, so let's have a realistic long-term plan.
Well, I think they think 65 is the age that I've heard is of people like, I'll just kill myself when I'm in my late 60s, and I don't think people realize how it's actually pretty young. And when you get there, you're still gonna, if you've taken care of yourself at all, you're still gonna have a degree of desire to continue living.
Yeah, you're really just a 30-year-old that kind of looks shitty.
Yeah.
Like you're still vibrant.
I think maybe they're thinking like 80s is when you start to get decrepit.
Yeah.
But not 60s. I think they're really underestimating. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. So I'm gonna
So this is a trend.
This is a trend. So pretty much it's like they do something that they think their ancestors would be shocked by, that's just like part of their everyday existence. And then they pretend to be both themselves and their ancestor reacting to what they're doing. And it gets better.
So special.
Okay, so now let's see this girl's take on it. Prepare yourself. Okay.
Okay, just pause it right out.
Hold on.
Okay. So before I even read the blurb at the top of the screen,
you want to comment on this?
Yeah, the piss streak in the hair. Is it? Okay, look, let's break this down real quick. Piss streak, hard bangs.
We got an aggressive T.
Yeah, we gotta like whatever is probably beating out Hot Topic nowadays. I'm sure there's some like newer version.
I think it says I put the bitch in obituary. So we got like a shirt that needs to swear at the general public for no reason.
Yeah, wow. I remember what it was like to be angry.
I know. Is Hot Topic still a thing? Is this what Hot Topic's pulling out now?
Yeah, there's definitely Hot Topic still. It's where like 11-year-olds go to hit on each other. It's dark and smells like fucking
at Booby Doom. So hold on.
Look at the tattoos, man.
So this is the Queen of Doom, and she's adding Booby Doom. Mm-hmm. So there's a gang of...
What do you mean adding?
I think she's either tagging a friend in it that maybe told her to do this trend or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so that they're tagged in it. So I'm wondering if one of her friends, like there's like a Doom community that's like all doing this trend together.
I feel like this is probably so annoying to explain to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Such an old man.
I don't know who she...
You mean they can talk to each other with video links? Digital cyber links?
Yeah, it's not like she's stitching them, but she's definitely tagged them in her thing, so I don't know.
I'm hoping we get a better perspective on these tattoos, because I bet they're interesting, I bet they're relevant.
They're sparse, but they're
I bet their location
loud.
And content was chosen
carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, very carefully. I bet there's nothing Marvel about them. They're definitely not. I also want to note that we're got the tranny heel on the Grim Reaper.
Was that explicitly a tranny heel now?
I mean, so I can't remember what the kind of shoe is that grips the pole for pole dancers, but there's a specific type of, it's patent leather that when your poles.
This is common knowledge.
I don't know. This is the neural network that
you're on the mail list.
Is me. I'm not really sure if it's like a common thread, but whenever I see these shoes,
Roger,
I always think of like the patent leather stripper heels, and the reason that they're stripper heels is because the patent leather grips the pole really well.
Yeah, I think whenever I see heels like that, I think of future presidents.
Oh my god!
Yes, or to be politically correct, Presidentress.
Well, okay. Let's just see what she has to say. So her ancestor, did you get your
groceries delivered?
Her ancestors are also using the UR abbrev.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
Did you get your groceries delivered? Okay.
No, she doesn't. No,
okay.
No, she doesn't.
I cry when I go shopping. Honey.
All right, we need to turn this up to
you
11.
know how hard it is to go grocery shopping.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Immediately gets aggressive.
Yeah. So her ancestor. It's so hard to tell her, but at least the other girl did a costume change.
So
yeah, look at that action.
Yeah.
So look at that look.
Oh,
just
beast mode.
Are you serious? And then she does a fat girl overhand punch with a can of beans.
She just smacked down her ancestors for getting lippy.
Doesn't she know that she's going to disappear if she disrupts the timeline?
That's true.
She's going to disappear, yeah.
Oh, no.
Unless that's not her real ancestor and, the milkman dumped ropes in her grandmother secretly.
Also, I love how judgy all these people think their ancestors are. I don't think that they'd be this judgy. They'd probably be like, what the hell is happening?
They would probably be immediately impatient and angry with you at the lack of...
aren't you scared something is going to eat you? Who is...
Oh, wait, what level of ancestor? Are you thinking 100 years ago or 50,000 years ago?
I mean, I just think they'd have different concerns. No matter what time period, it would either be oh my gosh, why is it colder inside than outside?
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? Or what is that machine behind your head?
Yeah.
All this tech behind her head that they'd be freaking out about.
Exactly.
And also, this is a really nice house.
Oh yeah, no, this child that lives in a $350,000 home. You
don't think that this class act woman?
Oh, Yahtzee, man, you love doing that.
I do. I drop it every time. You don't think that this woman who is so evolved that going to the grocery store makes her cry isn't just raking in the cash for this beautiful...
I mean, probably nowadays, I don't know how much a piss stain costs to get put in your hair at the hairdresser, but I'm sure it isn't cheap.
I mean, I do think that, I do think she has a cute look. She's got, the Betty Page bangs going a little bit, but I don't...
This is the girl world olive branch.
Yeah, I can't be too harsh on her. She's got a cute face. I don't know. She's. I don't want to be mean.
Since I'm obligated to bring a dose of reality, this fat college sophomore is disappointing in every way.
Oh, I think she has a very cute face, and I do think the fringe. She's a good candidate for bangs.
She looks like the fucking spoon from the Toy Story movie.
I will say,
why are you lying?
Her tattoos are questionable. I mean, the yellow strip isn't not a good look. So Anyway, so now we've gotten aggressive with our ancestors. Let's move on.
We gotten into a domestic.
Yeah, the police have been called. All right. Just waiting to eat. Someone's cooking for you?
Yeah, they did that in the before time too. It wasn't like everybody fended for themselves.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Girl?
No, God, you girl.
Oh, wait.
Oh, God. Oh, it burns. It burns. Oh,
honey,
man.
what do you think about this baby boy? If you could tell this face anything.
That looks like the kind of guy that leaves review comments on porn websites.
Oh.
Yeah, like a really desperate kind of new male.
I just feel like he wants so badly to have, like, someone like him that he's... First of all, whatever he's cooking, it's intense.
It looks like you just dumped shit into your... Look, I'm sure it is a...
Is this liver?
I'm
like,
sure it's a good tasting meal from
what is
God
going
knows
on?
Where. Some sort of un-American country.
Jesus Christ. I have no clue what he's making, but...
Hey, food is food. I'll give you that. But I will ask you
is it
this.
stew? Is it like lamb?
Son, what is wrong with your head? Are there clippers in your house? Have you heard of haircuts? How are you holding down a real grown adult man job with looking like that?
He just wants to take care of his girl, honey.
Oh.
Whoa.
What was that?
What was that last thing? They're both so young. These two young kids that have probably Romeo and Juliet like run away together and they're just trying to take care of each other.
Yeah, this low ceiling apartment that they can probably barely afford.
Yeah, this is the appropriate.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though.
Broke people bread.
You're probably right about their age because
they're young. Yeah.
Like look at the... They're definitely at that age where they're doing like those cartoon reactions that are cringe. Like look at what she does at the end there.
Colonizer.
Oh, what the fuck?
I didn't realize that's what it was. That's what she said.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, your ancestors got wrecked, dude. Figure out gunpowder next time.
Alright, so there's
Steal
that
from the
one.
Chinese.
There's that one. And then let's see what else we got here. Alright, this one's pretty good.
Okay, at least this one specified it. 1800s.
Yeah. Tell me,
1800s.
honey.
Any year in that bracket.
So, do you feel like the 1800s woman, the 18...
So you're an adult. Yeah, they would always stipulate that. You're an adult. Are you married?
Yeah, 13 was considered an adult. So.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you bled yet?
Like, are you... Actually... swirls her coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I think the first question this 1800s woman would be like? Mm-hmm. So I see your tits are out.
I see your fucking tits are out, bitch. Yeah. Why? You have any idea how rude our living grandparents are to our living selves? My great grandmother, I've heard stories about how mean this woman was. Like, do you really think people in the 1800s?
No holds barred with Grandma C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just write down that timestamp for it.
So actually, I'm divorced at 23.
She's 23, man.
You're just mad you can't leave your husband.
Can't? What do you mean can't? What do you mean can't,
like,
bro?
This is the era of women that, like, murdered their husband with poison. Like,
no, not even that. That was, like, the 20th century. 1800s. This is the era of women that was like, well, my husband punches me, but to divorce is a sin against God, so I'm going to punch him back. So you just have fist fights in these, like, 18-person Irish households.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know what do you mean? Irish people punch each other all the time.
Well, I don't know if she's Irish.
Yeah, I assume everybody white is Irish.
I don't know that she's...
Oh, so you're an adult, are you? Are you married? She goes, no, actually, I didn't think about it.
Actually, for me personally, being married isn't going to work out, and I went ahead and just got divorced.
Yeah.
And you're just jealous.
Yeah, you're just mad because you can't leave your husband. A great reaction for any adult human to have is immediately react like a child.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Is like the conversations I try to have with my younger sister that like there's just no talking to her because they say stuff like this and then they think they've won the argument, but you just there's nothing left to say because they're just so self-centered,
petulant
that like I could try to reason with you, but I just don't think that it's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, no, it's literally like talking. I don't know what happened, but it's literally like talking to a child. It's like the reactions that she has and the impulses are really immature. Like I'm not surprised that a majority of people that are Generation X are this way because they were raised by the other large generation, baby boomers. Baby boomers raised Generation X. Baby boomers are dog shit.
Wait. Am I getting...
It skips one. So baby boomers raised X. Millennials are going to raise whoever comes next. Because millennials
You're thinking
are 40.
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Okay,
my bad. X raised... So X raised Z.
Yeah.
Boomers raised millennials.
Boomers raised millennials, correct. Yeah. I just feel like they think they're winning these arguments, and honestly, anyone that wants to have any sort of intelligent intelligent conversation,
What's a thug?
Intellectual conversation, just has to kind of like bow out because there's just like these gotcha like.
Yeah.
You know, you can't even, there's no reasoning with this. You're just mad that you can't leave your husband. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the case, but it's more prevalent now that you'll have, like, dumb people or people who just were never raised to be able to, like, question their emotions. And they'll either, like, put up a wall or they'll take the ball and go home and you can't have a conversation with them.
Yeah. But I think what I was noticing the most about this trend was that, like, the things that they're choosing...
Yeah, they're saying fuck you to their ancestors, basically.
The things they're choosing that would be like the thing that they would bring up to their ancestor. And I get that these are bits and this is for the sake of getting views and likes and all of that. But like these things that they think are going to be like the hard-hitting conversations that they're going to have with their ancestors are just so sad. Yeah. So like small... So, small world, small problems, first world problems, things their ancestors would not care about.
Not even on the plate of what our ancestors would care about. So just to go back to my lineage, like my father's grandmother, so not the one that's alive right now, but her mother, I've heard tales about like how just obstinate and combative this one was. And you had to be. This was like Shah era Iran. Like... And she was living in the poorest part of that country. And she was like, you just had to be tough. Like she would hit her children when they didn't earn enough money when they came home. Like, I'm not saying that's right, but like these people were so hardworking and they were concerned about survival more than anything else. Like the things that they cared about had nothing to do with like you wanting to not have a husband so that you could go out with your gals.
Right. Well, not like she can afford a iced latte.
It was about
what I mean?
How often are you eating?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have pneumonia right now?
I think they would just be more like, how is your life? How are you able to...
They'd be like, first of all, what the fuck is this thing you're in? And how does it move this fast? Second of all, put your tits away.
Yeah. Well, third of all, like, can you afford to exist without your husband? Are you going to turn into like a street urchin? You know what I mean?
They'd be immediately like, let's talk about your financial future. Where's your W-2?
Or like, are you bringing the entire family down to ruin? Because of the social proclivity of divorced women was a lot different and that carried a lot more for the entire family.
What are your chances of remarrying?
Anyway, I get that this is just a trend, but these things that they're bringing up for their ancestors are insane.
It's disrespectful because she's saying, like, you're just mad because you couldn't leave your husband. And it's like, no.
It was so much more complicated than that.
No, because if you left your husband, one, you probably wouldn't remarry. And two, if you did, there was almost a guarantee of 0% chance that you were going to be happier.
Right.
Your concerns were so much bigger than, like, am I having fun? Am I vibing?
I know. He didn't make me come the way I like to come.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, he didn't cook for me. He didn't clean for me.
Yeah, those hags on The View didn't convince your great-grandmother to break up.
Oh, man. I mean, I don't think that there have been unhealthy relationships in every generation, and, you know, good for her if she needed to get out of an unhealthy thing. There's two sides to every story, though, and I do think that, like, a lot of times people
it's just ignorant of, like, the problems your
ancestor.
Yeah, it'd be like if I made a video talking to my ancestor and I was, like, throwing away leftovers, and I was like, you're just mad because you can't throw away leftovers. Like, it's not that he couldn't, it's that it would be insane of them to throw away leftovers.
Yeah.
It's their concerns are so much, the stakes are so much higher.
Yeah, it's literally life
that
it's like you're throwing away.
Yeah, neat for you that you can just, like, play Russian roulette with your 20s.
Yeah. For sure. And I don't want to, like, downplay that, like, maybe she was in a really bad relationship and it might have been a great thing for her, but, like, honestly, that's just not what you should...
It's not the point. It's about her.
It's about
ancestor.
That you think that that's the conversation with your ancestors that you would have, and that's the way it would go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so silly.
You get smacked.
Okay.
You gotta get smacked, man.
This one is just a kid having a fun time, and it's kind of funny.
I don't like that. Oh God. What is this, like, caveman?
The first one that, like, actually realized
why is he bobbing and weaving like that?
His ancestor would probably be a little insane. The first person who finally was like, I know my ancestors were nuts.
So you know how evolutionary biologists say that, like, there's only so many permutations of faces within your genome. So, like, a person who looked exactly like you within your bloodline probably existed at least once long ago. Could you imagine what, like, the previous versions of you and I face people were like? Like, when do you think the last time you emerged?
That's interesting, because this is now, like, getting in the, like, topic of maybe past lives.
Almost,
If it's your DNA, is it your past life? And is that why you kind of feel connected to certain time?
Yeah, it's your DNA with less ingredients, because it's earlier.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. So, I mean, I haven't taken a 23andMe because I'm not, because I'm a prepper, basically. But I would assume the last time, I don't know, probably some sort of, like, caliphate, warrior just, like, rampaging in, like, 1300s peninsula.
Yeah.
I think I was probably doing some heinous shit in the peninsula.
Probably. I mean, I think your DNA remembers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
For those of our listeners, I am of Middle Eastern descent.
Yeah, I would say whenever I, like, and I've told you this, whenever I watch...
The scary areas, just to clarify for our American...
So whenever I talk to my husband, he always really relates to, like, warrior mentalities and, like, Alexander the Great and stories like that. And I don't relate to any of those time periods. I don't think I existed.
Pre-cotton
Maybe
loom?
it's because I'm, like, an Aries and I'm, like, the youngest sign in the zodiac. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Bring the zodiac calendar.
So the only time period that, like, when I watch movies from it that I kind of resonate with me and I'm like, maybe one of me lived during that time.
Far away.
Is, like, far, yeah.
Far away.
Far and away.
Far and away.
The, like, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, like
It's a fun
frontiersman,
movie.
the frontiersman thing.
Yeah, it's a very fun movie. And
Yeah.
it makes sense because you're
Well, my ancestors are Mormon.
Yeah.
So they're very like pioneers, like let's settle.
yeah, they're heavily focused. That's where probably the breadth of your bloodlines, energy was spent in building that legacy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
maybe. I
Okay,
don't know.
back
Anyway,
to this.
so this guy,
Yeah.
he's doing the whip. At least he had a fun time with it. At least he's making it a clear joke and not just like telling his ancestors.
There's nothing I love more than seeing black kids have fun. So I agree.
They're so who'd you
Oh
marry?
wow, talk about a hot topic.
Okay. Do you
Ma'am, can you feel your legs?
do you recognize this?
What is that?
It's eye, mouth, eye. It's
I see that.
It's a Gen Z like awkward blank stare sort of.
They had a freaking emoji. They have an emoji for everything.
Yeah.
They have like a little yellow Simpsons guy for.
What do you think about this man here?
It's infuriating.
This gentleman.
I see an earring and I want to fucking smash.
I think he pierced his own ear. That is the reddest ear.
It's definitely infected.
That's got some
His
problems.
legs are so close together, it's upsetting me.
He's wearing very baggy clothes, but you can tell that those popsicle legs are clenching.
I can appreciate that he at least has had a haircut, other than that other guy who was cooking a fucking lamb's gut.
But he did color his hair to match his shirt.
He colored his hair to because he didn't have a personality, he needed to
I don't get what's going on
that.
here. So does she not like him? Like, does she like him? I get that the ancestors would be shocked, and that's the shocked emoji. But I don't. My ancestors now, you know good and well, huh?
You need to eat something, man. This is a...
Wait. We good, fam. What?
Wait, what is happening right now? Is he brushing her teeth? Wait, she put on like a Con of Cons robe?
She turned into Prince.
Yeah, she turned into modern day Prince.
I don't know what. This is the last one but it was just very bizarre that I was like, what?
It's just okay, whatever. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for being weird. But,
yeah, teenagers be crazy, I guess.
But what I love that they just have like fucking poison ivy draped in the background along lights.
Dude, I remember.
What early 20s thing to do. Yeah, just put that shit somewhere. It doesn't matter.
I don't know what I don't know what they're trying to communicate with their art here. But
they need to spend less time in Hot Topic, both of them.
Everyone on this trend could spend a little less time in Hot Topic.
Exactly. They need to shop where cool people like us shop, which is Target.
I was like, where?
Buying eggs and shorts at Target.
I mean, when you get out, when you
have a chance to get outside,
you got to do everything at once. It's a one-stop wonder. Yeah. All right, so that's the my ancestor trend. Okay.
Yeah, just for everyone's sake, I don't go outside and I sleep right next to a K bar, so that's the kind of weirdo that you're listening to.
Why do they need that information?
Yeah, well, why else would anybody, shop at
Target?
I
think a lot of people shop at Target, but I do think that you're right. It's like people that just don't have. We don't have the luxury of shopping.
Yeah, we got more important things going on. We got a little baby pigeon in there.
We got a baby pigeon that could wake up at any minute. Okay, so this next one is for those of you who are watching The Bachelor.
The head bob is turned up.
So one of the things that we do together is we watch The Bachelor. It started when you were deployed, and you let me choose. I got my choice of what. One show that we would watch every week together, and I chose The Bachelor just because it made you so insanely mad.
Yeah.
And
when we first got together, we had your shows and we had my shows, and They did not align very well, but we eventually found a way to like make the hating of certain shows palatable.
Yeah.
It was fun, and we had chances to do that remotely.
Yeah. So anyway, watching The Bachelor together and just being unreasonably angry at the people that it attracts has been a great pastime for us for the last couple of years. Anyway, so this is something that if you don't watch The Bachelor, you probably don't care about. But regardless, it's just kind of a funny thing about reality TV in general. So I wanted to show this.
Whoa.
Okay. So what happened, and
here is why on The Bachelor the girls can't just like get in there and talk to the lead, right? The Bachelor. Because of the producers. Every time I'm watching this show and I'm on Twitter, as I'm watching it, people are like, why doesn't she just pipe in there or whatever?
Yeah, pause it. Because I'm just so like sensitive to people blaming other people for not being able to do things. You know, even though we have people regularly climb Mount Everest, I'm just imagining that they're like they're literally being stopped by the producers. Like there's a producer with like a fucking pistol and a holster.
Oh
this is my producer gun.
This is my.
I use this gun to produce.
You shall not pass.
Approach the Bachelor at your own hazard.
Okay, so what happened? It was that there was this girl who it was her date to go with the Bachelor, and another girl, Katie, pretty much
know the names.
Yeah, so Zach,
believe it.
the worst Bachelor there's ever been.
I can't believe you know the names.
Well, someone's got to.
Yeah,
Someone's
right.
got to keep them straight around here.
I know. Otherwise, it would just be me on here going, the guy with the fucking chest hair.
Freaking Zach, who is, I don't know why these girls think he's a catch. He's literally like a salesman, and he just has no personality. Anyway, he keeps sending women home for absolutely like just not doing everything absolutely perfect. If you give him an inkling that you're just not just over the moon about him every second of every day, he is going to send your ass home. Like he has no patience for girls just having feelings, to be honest.
To be fair, girls' feelings is really exhausting.
You're on The Bachelor, though. You're dating 30 women at once. What do you expect? You're going to have a lot of feelings that you're going to have to manage.
I think he thinks it like being the Bachelor is like it being your birthday, and it's about you, and you don't have to put as much energy into negotiating the relationship as the other person. You know, which the bachelorettes make that same mistake too.
Oh yeah,
it's a bad strategy for like trying to court anybody.
Oh yeah, it's all. But anyway, so pretty much the reason I just wanted to show this was because that girl. So one of the best parts about watching The Bachelor when it's like the group of women is these women. It's like. It's a small little pocket where you get to, or like a vacuum where you get to watch how girl politics work, and like it's almost like its own little experiment. And she, obviously the producers let her go talk to Zach before he took this other girl, Charity, on her date.
That's what she's saying. Yeah, okay, I get it now.
And so Katie wouldn't have been able to talk to Zach before this date unless the producers allowed it.
So it was staged.
Right,
but the girls
and then when Katie came back, they blacklisted her. They made her. They made.
Pariah.
Oh yeah, she became. And they haven't had that much drama this season, so I think the producers were just trying. But she got sent home like the next weekend, and it was clearly just because all the girls started like putting an X on her. They socially ostracized her so fast.
That's hilarious.
They scarlet lettered her and just sent her off to just die in the wilderness alone.
So it's literally because like the pharaohs that be producers were like pointed at a random girl like her.
And
we will sacrifice her upon the altar.
They sacrificed her to these conniving women that just like were so excited to rip someone apart.
They ate her. They pulled her apart.
Sure did. Anyway, so that's just for girl world news. Katie, if you're out there,
yeah,
we're vindicating you.
Stay strong, girl.
Stay strong. Strong women support strong women. Not all of us are gonna murder you. Okay. This next thing is also from my account, and it's the bold glamour filter that is breaking the internet.
Okay.
Women. So I know we've watched some of these together, and the women.
It's hitting me now, so I'm ready for anything.
The women are going insane over this filter. They either love themselves so much that they can't like face reality of who they are without this filter, or they're like so upset that we're creating this bar that's so like women are all over the place, and it's a really well done filter. Where like, okay, let me just show you. I guess I'll stop rambling.
Yeah, it's like a visual filter, right? Like when.
Okay. This filter.
Over 2 million.
My old man eyes.
It's crazy.
So it's really well done.
Like this, but the filter itself. Looks
Oh
natural.
yeah,
There's
that's
some
right.
texture
There's like a
there. I've
thing.
seen other
There's like
people
an
use it and
overlay.
they do like a big reveal, and they've looked pretty much exactly the same. Perhaps just less contoured makeup, but. I don't want to say this about myself, but I actually look ugly when I take this filter off. I've done a lot of work
Don't say that.
to unlearn that I owe prettiness to anyone. I don't think my brain knows how to deal with looking like this 1 minute and then this
Whoa.
the next.
Whoa.
So here's a reminder for anyone who
Damn.
Poor
filtered
thing.
skin is not
Don't
a skin
use
type.
this
And
filter.
we're
This is the
already
virus
perfect.
filter everyone is using right now. Tell me honestly, have you ever shown up in real life or have you ever not shown up in real life because of how you've been misrepresented yourself on social media? Anyway, it's just like...
She's ugly.
Oh my God.
She was right about herself. And that's a good point. I thought she was being... Because usually you'd be a little more professional about it. Like, I'm a handsome woman, you know. You use those like cues that are like, you know, not the best, but she's bad.
Yeah, well, I mean...
It even hid that she was fat.
She did. I mean, okay. So there are a couple things it does. It obviously it makes your face more angular. Mm-hmm. So the people that
gives you those Elizabeth Warren cheekbones.
Yes. So it's doing a lot of heavy lifting for people that have naturally round faces. I have some examples of people who have like more masculine faces that are actually kind of funny, but I just think it's such a okay. Hold on, let's just jump to this next one, because this next one is a bunch of people that are just really... So that girl didn't like herself in it. Okay, so this one is an example of kind of what I've been seeing most girls do, which is just like love themselves in it. My girl's trying the trend filter on TikTok.
But before we get into this one, I feel like we're not finished with it. If anybody's hearing that noise in the background, it's our dog that pleaded for help and is now freaking out on the bed.
Okay.
He's just rolling around and then looking at us periodically.
Okay.
So the girl before, so she... that was... she's right to be shocked by that. That's impressive.
No, it's an insane filter.
It's really good. Yeah.
And
so here's a reminder.
I just want
to
to mention for a second that everybody thought that like AI was going to be the end of men, that men were just going to be like, you know, because once you combine like some sort of like receptacle with like a auto-generate of phrases of affection, mm-hmm. that like every man in the world would just like never leave their home again and just turn into like disgusting insects. And they're right. However, like this is clearly, you know, women were not exempt from this. AI is destroying both men and women.
It's making their minds melt, because it's like if they can be this person on
why ever go outside?
Why ever
'Cause then people
stop
will know.
being this woman that you can be with just a filter?
Yeah.
But I do think that like this could be really bad for men too. That like they could have.
Absolutely. What if somebody accidentally takes her on a date?
Right. Well, no. Like, they could have a relationship with this woman and never actually see her in public, or have an AI that's able to fulfill like almost every need that they need.
Yeah.
You know, and they never. People just never are going to have to leave their house again or want to, because they're going to be a much better version of themselves in the
We could incentivize
metaverse.
ourselves into extinction.
Yeah, because why would you want to show up as this person? Like, she's cute. Actually, I feel bad because like
Look at the head.
It's the same with like women that like women aren't allowed to age anymore either. Like
What do you mean aren't allowed?
Like you don't see women aging naturally anymore. They're all taking if they can afford
because women are insane, so they choose not to age appropriately. They just decide to fill themselves up with salt water and plastic.
Well, and I get that this is like a lot of female on female competition. Like we're trying to outrun each other to be the prettiest, most desirable female out there. There's like the scarcity complex within women, since there are not that many like high quality men at the top end of the spectrum to like vie for their attention. But anyway, it really is making women lose their minds, because they either realize that, oh my gosh, how can I continue to be this person when I can be that person 1 minute, or already pretty girls.
Trying the trending filter on TikTok.
They're just loving themselves. Obviously, beautiful girls. All of these people are just beautiful, but I don't think they need a filter, first of all. And
can you say that for sure though?
I have no clue because I haven't seen them without the filter. But we're just normalizing that. Mm-hmm. We're just normalizing this such an unattainable bar.
Yeah.
Like we have a daughter, and she's gonna grow up with these filters and like see this version of herself almost from the time she recognizes herself in a mirror. She's also going to see herself with these filters on her face of what she could be that might be better than her current version of herself. It's just so insane. Anyway,
I personally blame the female arms race of beauty, like as if being hot is the most important thing in the world. And I do, the one thing I will give to like modern day feminism is that they're trying to like shift focus and praise away from that towards like STEM and the sciences, which is great for those women who like have those interests and like pursue them and then are also good at them. But you know, like let's not forget that the death, the nightmare rectangle that you carry in your pocket 24/7 is attacking your cavewoman brain.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to recognize that and maybe
take a break from it.
Take a break or get a less sophisticated phone, because it's just making you unhappy.
Yeah, I think the problem with that argument is that you're telling people to not participate in society anymore, because we're already like these virtually estranged people, and the way that young people interact is through technology now. And so to tell them to not participate is like telling them to not participate in their the version of society. So it's a little bit trickier than that, but I agree with you that like, you need to take a break from this stuff, because this is gonna make you lose your sense of reality really fast.
You're right. You're absolutely right. This is the ultimate problem of modernity, and I can't remember where I heard this next phrase, but somebody told, I heard once say, it was very poignant. We have godlike technology. And then we have a very archaic systems and organizations and judicial systems, and then we have these absolutely primitive caveman brains, and all of those things are contesting with one another in order to allow us to like reach the end of our life successfully, whatever that means. And it's really tough because like the technology is definitively, without a doubt, causing you to be more productive and have more fun. It is also at the same time causing you to have a less a lower quality life in the long run. Like you're not having like people are having like chronic FOMO and it's like crushing their self-esteem.
Well, like this woman says, have you ever like just not gone out? Have you never
This poor girl.
I know, have you ever not shown up in real life because of how you've misrepresented yourself on social media?
I know.
Holy shit, like that's so sad. At that point you've chosen your fake life over your actual life.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And what's really shitty is because like women can't. I think you made a good point, because like women can't bail out of the who get hot arms race, because it reliably gives you superior attention from not just men but people in general. Well, so as long as it does that, the incentive is never going to go away.
No, and it drives respect from other women too. Like it's not just
that is the crazy part too.
It's not just other men. Like I notice, like more so than other men, like checking me out when I'm done up, it's the girls, and it's like game recognizes game, and it's the girls are eyeing each other up, being like, what is she doing that I haven't quite figured out yet? And we're trying to figure out like what the thing is, because the arms race really is the beauty standard for women, and how can I capture and keep that as long as possible, because that's the leg up we get our beauty and our youth, and it goes quickly, and you've got to like learn how to harness and maintain it draw it out as long as you possibly can, which is why I think that we're not allowed to get old either. Like,
yeah, I guess.
And I will say that like, yeah, it's easy to say just opt out and just not participate in it, but honestly, it's hard to the power that women have for such a brief amount of time while they're in their prime of their beauty prime stage is
because it's not a solution
absolutely
to say
addicting.
It's not a solution to say, well, stop wanting attention or stop giving attention to people who are doing these things, because you know to a certain degree it's hardwired into us. So we have to have find some sort of way to shift the attention, or else we're just gonna incentivize ourselves out of being a species.
What is this one? This one I forgot. I didn't hyperlink it right. Oh.
Okay. All right. I like it.
I just wanted to show some diversity. Like this woman, just like, how old do you think she is?
Judging from.
She's just loving herself. Anyway.
Judging from her neck, I don't know, mid-40s?
Yeah.
Late 40s?
Late 40s, I'd say.
Probably late 40s, early 50s.
Anyway, just wanted to get some. So I also have two examples of girls that I think had fun with this filter and are probably dealing with it the most healthy way you can, and I thought it was really funny.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the ugly stepsister. Ah, there you are. You see, I need to have someone taken care of. Who's the guy?
So, because what it does, what it does is it makes your features more angular. So if you already have a somewhat masculine face, which is kind of funny because
So what you're saying is the sexiest woman is actually a chiseled man.
Oh God.
Basically.
Well, it does. I think I showed you it on my face, and I felt like it made me look a little more masculine than I do already, and I didn't really love it. I thought it looked weird on me.
I mean, I know that I have like I have a conflict of interest, but it really didn't do much other than like make your eyebrows darker, and I think it made your chin a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
I already have a kind of like more masked looking face. So this bold glamour, I mean, it's supposed to be pretty, and parts of it are nice, but I want to know why? You want to know why?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's hot.
Just like, good for her for being able to laugh about
that is a Roman nose.
Good for her. I was glad there were some girls that were not getting.
Good for her, man. She's having fun with it.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's tough.
You go, girls. Okay.
Get over here.
So,
Dog. All right, you want to...
men keep more of their paycheck?
Hang on. I think now is probably a good idea for us to kill the fun.
Yeah. So, my husband has an affinity for
I'm gonna have to track that
politics and current events, and I am not so great at the news in general.
It's finance related, so you're gonna actually do well with this. Yes.
Okay. So so he's gonna bring a current event to the table, and we're gonna have a little chat about it. We're gonna let him go off, as he is prone to do, wax philosophical on it. So let's hear, what'd you dig up, hon?
Okay, so this is, just tie it back in. This is what's not fucking peaceful with me, okay? See this? U.S. Federal Reserve announces the Fed and the Central Bank of the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, and European Central Bank, which is the European Central Bank is a criminal enterprise, let me tell you. I've had a little too many of these And the Switzerland of Switzerland announce a coordinated action to improve liquidity provisions through the standing U.S. dollar liquidity swap lines. For the general public, what that means basically is that after 2.5 years of printing more money than King Solomon could bear, enough money to make God blush, the major central banks of major Western European and United States and Canada are going to print even more money in order to purchase US dollars. That's correct.
Are you serious?
Yes, absolutely. They're going to purchase US dollars with brand new
inflation.
Money that they are
just going to make it worse.
I know. I can only assume their proposed solution to this is that they're going to do some sort of public swap program or raise the interest rate in order to soak up that, like...
Keep raising the interest rate?
Yeah.
For how much longer?
Lord knows. Lord knows. They can't keep doing it because they're going to scare away lenders. And after that, the economy dries up because lenders is how you get anything happened in the middle economy done. So, we'll see.
Is this just a proposal, or I don't know?
Oh, they've announced it. So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to go through with it, but they usually don't announce things like this and don't go through with it because when you make an announcement, the market is going to react preemptively to that action. And if they don't follow through with it, it can have... It could possibly trigger a crash. So they don't usually do that. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, that's weird that they did announce it. Usually they do that super under the books.
Oh, yeah. Or they'll do it almost immediately as they're enacting it.
Yeah.
You know, because they have a legal obligation to provide transparency and say, like, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z with your money. But yeah, no, they're either... The United States is going to be printing money, and other countries are going to be printing money in order to purchase that dollar, either to prep up the petrol dollar or in order to keep the United States trade industry afloat.
Monopoly money. Literally monopoly money.
Well, it's certainly going to devalue the US dollar more. And what's shocking is that, for those people that aren't quite aware, is that 80% of all of the American money that exists today, that is in circulation, was printed within the last 2 years, which is insane. So the fact that they're doing this now means that once markets begin to slow down and the stickiness of prices wears off, then the communication between demand and supply is going to evaporate, and not interest rates, but inflation is going to really take off. So we could see another inflation rocket, like during the pre-Volcker recession of the 70s. The Volcker recession in the 70s was a guy, Volcker, with the Central Bank of the United States, who became very unpopular because he intentionally caused a recession to get a grip on inflation. Whether that was necessary ultimately or not is debatable, but it was a really tough decision, and I think it might be the only recession we've ever had that was based on us trying to really aggressively counteract inflation. So not good. Whenever that does happen, inflation is really going to take off.
Hold on to your britches.
Yeah.
We're never going to be able to buy a house.
Yeah. Well, basically, for anybody who's thinking
Let's
of borrowing...
buy some land, because that's the only thing we're going to be able to buy.
Exactly, yeah. We'll
just put we're going to have to build a log cabin with our own bare hands.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to tell our ancestors.
Exactly, yeah. We'll get the family, we'll get the C-fam out there. All right, go to work. But anybody who is thinking of borrowing money in US dollars tomorrow, do it today, because once the US dollar inflates, you will owe less value
by the time
overall.
We actually publish this. Let's even pretend by the time anyone actually finds this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Once you're once the creepy person in your family at Thanksgiving recommends this podcast,
it's gonna be like, the
person who's too weird for the Joe Rogan experience.
I have no clue how we even circulate this. We have no PR strategy.
Yeah, by word of mouth. That's how we're gonna get it out.
We're just enjoying life. Okay, are you good?
Let's rock and roll.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to just go to a random For You video. Oh. Our time is up.
There we go.
That's the bell.
All right. Yeah.
Bring her baby in here.
Bring her baby in here. Work the baby magic. Oh, that's been it.
It's been a lovely...
Let me see.
Oh, is it so recording? It's been a lovely time. Let's see if we can get this binky in him. No. Oh, she's up. All right, well, that's it for our first episode. We'll see you next time.